is. Good evening. It is Tuesday, March 12th. I have to check my watch every time. Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. And I am Annie Hughes, your superstar director of the Flash family of teams. And if you're watching us now, or well, if you're not here with us right now, you're watching us back. And we are talking tonight about social media and how to show up and stand out and your do's and your don'ts and how to be relevant and present in your business using the tool of social media. So, welcome back to our weekly chat. I'm glad you're here. It's kind of a funny topic, right? Like the great thing about social media is it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing in business. It's very easy to get distracted with social media when we're trying to come on and work our businesses. So that's a huge one for me, but realistically, social media is an amazing, amazing tool if you use it appropriately for your business. You can reach people that you do know and already have a relationship with. You can reach people that you don't know. You can meet new people. You can get yourself out there and grow your business organically with the network that comes with the tool, right? We are talking about Facebook. We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about Snapchat. We're talking about, um, a lot there. When I say social media, I mean that in a broad term, right? So, um, I have brought you somebody who's amazing with social media, because I'll let her introduce herself and what she does, but, Aubrey Cushing is one of our well-loved leaders, and I know that there is no way that I could do this topic justice the way that she can. So I'm going to hand this off to her so that she can tell you kind of some ins and outs and some tips and things that she knows. But we'll come back and forth and we'll move through this. So Aubrey, I adore you. Thank you for volunteering to share your knowledge with us, or at least saying, okay, I will, when I said, please, please, please. So
Of
go ahead,
course.
girlfriend.
Well, I'm like, oh man, what an introduction. So yes, I run social media full time for my full-time job and then multiple clients. And so looking at the group here, there's nobody here that's on right now. I don't know about anybody listening back, but there's nobody here that I can see right now that doesn't already get it. Social media is really easy to pick up for a lot of us, not for everyone. And that's okay because there's lots of tools out there to help us figure out what, and there's lots of articles, and sometimes that's really overwhelming for people. So I'm going to give a highlight of the things that are kind of on the back end that not everybody always thinks about. And then if anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer, or if I'm sure everybody here has lots of really good ideas. So um, I am first and foremost guilty of doing some of these things that I'm going to tell you to make sure you're thinking about. Sometimes I don't think about it. Um, on my own personal social media, I spend zero time doing much thought, only because I put so much time and thought into all my clients' work. And so when I get on mine, I'm just like haphazardly doing things. So don't look at my social media all the time and think I should do it like that, because it's probably not true. I can refer you to one of my clients' pages and then you can do it like that. But anyway, so the first thing is that time of day and day of the week matters, and that varies based upon the platform that you're using. So what works on Tuesday at 9 a.m. on Facebook doesn't always work Tuesday 9 a.m. on Instagram. So there's some really simple ways to find that out. You can simply Google, if you're not really sure. If you're not, we'll talk a little bit about how to use free analytics later, which is something I really, really love to talk about, and I won't nerd too far into. But so you can do a little bit of research and find just what's the best time of day or day of week to post for Facebook. And it'll give you, and that changes. So you'll want to check every couple of months. because that changes as algorithms change, which is, the big, like, I feel like that's like the biggest swear word in the world, in the social media world these days, because nobody can ever figure out the algorithm precisely. And as soon as we figure it out, it changes and there's an upgrade and we start all over again. Um, your type of post matters too. So if you're posting, um, you know, photos on Insta or not on Instagram, on TikTok, they're blah, 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 they're not going to get seen as good, as much, as often and engaged with as if you were posting a video, because TikTok is a video platform. I see lots of people posting, and it's okay to like add a few photos in, but it should always be primarily videos. Facebook, it doesn't really matter. You can put videos on Facebook. People, do Facebook Live. That's a great tool as well. So, um, use each platform the way it should be, and you'll have a better chance at getting your post viewed and engaged with. Um, Another one, I'm just running through these. People can interrupt me if they need to. Hashtag research is a huge, huge, huge thing. So, finding relevant hashtags for your posts will help you get them seen better. And recently, they are saying that 3 to 5 hashtags at most is what you should be posting, because a lot of the platforms now are starting to flag your posts as spam. And so it's pulling them out of the algorithm, so they're not being seen as much. And so before, it was use at least 10 or 15 hashtags. And there's so many millions of people out there in the world today with social media, and they're hashtagging every little thing. Um, and you don't want to do that anymore. You also really want to make sure that if you're posting about, um, you know, I don't know, I posted, about a lemon pitcher today that I got my new warmer. I could have posted kitchenware, hashtag lemons. You don't want to post like hashtag, gosh, now I don't have um, a specific example, but I see sometimes people will take an entire word and break up each little word and make it its own hashtag. Don't do that. It needs to be super precise and relevant, and you can actually see how many people are using each hashtag each time you type in a hashtag. Like on Instagram, it'll say there's 3.3 million you know, um, uses with that hashtag and whatnot. So try and do your hashtag research. It's really important. If again, you can Google what are the trending hashtags. A trick that I will sometimes do if I'm trying to help a client get in front of more eyes, more organically, without like doing a lot of paid ads, which is not even anything I'm going to talk about today. But um, when you're trying to do organic reach, say it's the World Series, and you've got a post about, a wax bundle, throw in hashtag World Series and see how many more pairs of eyes you get in front of your post, simply by pulling in an entirely different audience that has nothing to do. Now, don't make all of your hashtags that way, just one, because that'll pull in a completely different group of people that you weren't expecting to pull in. So there's that. Meta is free for Instagram and Facebook. You can review. I've got it pulled up here. If you use Meta and you go to content, it'll show you how much reach you got on all of your posts. So, how many people saw it, how many reactions, how many shares. It'll tell you what time of day you posted. It'll share with you maybe the time of day that's best for your audience. It's a super good tool. It's super basic. You can't break anything in there. So, if anybody ever wants a sidebar like training on how to use that free tool, it's really amazing. There's a lot of really good information in there if you just kind of get in there and mess around with it. There's also the app as well that I highly recommend. It'll tell you what time to post based on your audience, because my audience might be looking at my post at a different time of day that Dina's or Anna's is. And so it's very tailored to fit your specific audience. So I really, really recommend you get on that and take that advice. Okay, and then just a couple more things. When you're making your posts, say you're making a Facebook post, try really hard not to ever post the link to your website in your actual post. Put it in the comments every single time. And that's because of the new ways that like Facebook is like utilizing marketplace and things like that. They're going to hide your posts more often because that link takes you outside of Facebook, obviously, or um, links are not clickable in Instagram unless you're using it in stories, just in case anybody didn't know that. And so they don't want you going away from their platform for any reason at all. So giving a Scentsy link in your post will drastically reduce your reach. So try and put that in the comments because it's uh, a much better spot for that. And then also in your post, try not to put dollar signs. Like use the emoji dollar sign if you want to, but don't put the actual dollar sign in there because things like that are the words sale, discount. Those are almost like those like flagged words that will get your posts um, reduced. Tons and tons of emojis. I know we like to like put emojis in for different like collections and things like that. And I think that's okay, but just, don't use I mean, some people it's just a ton of emojis, and then it's just too distracting, and people don't want to read that, and it also will get flagged for spam and all that kind of stuff. So that's my quick crash course. And I just said so many words in like a small amount of time. Sorry. Let me take a drink.
No, that's good though, because honestly, we don't have like we do this in under 30 minutes, right? Um,
Mhm.
I didn't think about the fact that like they don't want you to have a link to click because it takes you away from their platform. Like that made me think. Like I was like, okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense to me, and I totally do that. So that's
Yeah.
something right away I can fix. So I love the little tips and nuances that that are behind the scenes, right? Because like when I think social media, I think of things like what it's like for me as a consumer. Like I think about, okay, what kinds of posts don't appeal to me, right? Like if it's
Mhm.
always graphics all the time, I never see the person, I don't know what they look like, that's not furthering my relationship with the person. So it's not necessarily going to help me long term. It might get me a sale if it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that item, I love that, I have to have it, then maybe. But it's the real life pictures, it's the reels, it's the my friend Rachel sharing how she got one of those mops that like keeps the clean water and the dirty water separate and like saying, "Oh my gosh, you need one of these." That makes me like, "Okay, I have to
Mhm.
have one of those." Like that's the sort of thing that drives me. And so my advice to you is to think, what what moves you? Like, what kinds of things make you go, "I wanna buy that?" It's when your friend goes, "Okay, that new burrito place in town that just came in, like, I went there, I got this, it was freaking good, you need to go get it." Like, that makes me, "Okay, I wanna go get that burrito now," right? So, I think social media-wise, I would tell you guys to evaluate what drives you as a consumer, what makes you look, and then evaluate what makes you go, "Ick." Right? So, like, people who are very polarizing in politics,
In politics.
you run the other
You run.
direction, right? That's the truth. Like, we all, like, we don't wanna have anything to do with that. And maybe that's not the truth if they share the same beliefs as you, but if it doesn't, assume that whoever it is that's reading it feels exactly the opposite of you. So, stay away from those sensitive topics like politics, like anything that's like new moms, they don't wanna, like, cloth diapering versus regular, like versus disposable diapers and immunizations and breastfeeding and anything that gets people's emotions high and possibly angry, stay away from that stuff. Or the things that are really just negative in general, like if you're constantly complaining about something that happened with your baby daddy, like trust me, we all got the drama, okay? We do. But maybe it's fascinating. Maybe it's like a little bit of a maybe it's a little bit of a saga that you're interested in. But for the most part, nobody wants to hear constant like complaining or angry posts. So stay away from those. Um the begging for sales. Like it's one thing when you're really close to a goal and you want people to come and help you do it and people love to help you be successful. But if you're like month after month, like you know, "Y- I'm this far away or like nobody wants to help me or nobody wants to buy anything. Like that doesn't make people want to see more from you. It doesn't make people want to be a part of your journey. So be cognizant of that as well. Like, give people a reason to want to buy. Give people a reason to want to connect with you or be near you. Because ultimately, in this business, it's about people wanting what you have, whether it's the product or the lifestyle or the opportunity or the extra cash flow or whatever it is. If you become a source of like, I don't want to have anything to do with that person, that's not gonna help you. So, um, my tips come from a place of personal relationship and perspective on what's appealing, what's not appealing. So, ask yourself those things. What is it that turns you off on social media when you see them? Like, what is it that makes you go, "Ugh, unfollow. Ugh, hide. Ugh, take a break, unfriend." What is it that makes you feel that way? So, those are my tips. I know that one of the other things is, if you wanna stand out, be yourself. Don't try and post exactly what I do or somebody else does if it's not you. Like, I'm goofy and my customers expect that. Um, and that's okay. Like, if I were to come in and try to be, super professional, it doesn't sit right. Like, the people who know you. And so just be yourself. If you nerd out on whatever it is, like, nerd out on whatever it is, like, that's totally okay. Um, but stand out and be yourself, okay? Um Graphics are not going to stand out the way that reels do. And I mean, like that was what Aubrey was saying is like, if you really want a lot of engagement, people like to watch videos, people like to watch reels, and people like to see what you're doing. People are nosy by nature. Like if you're showing what's going on in your house or what you're Aubrey, post without selling. I shared a post tonight that shared a new warmer and didn't even mention it was for sale or how to get it. I shared it because I loved it and it's performing well. That's totally yes. And mix your nonsensian with sensy. Like I said, people are nosy. People want to know what you're doing. People Peop people are more likely to see all of your things if it's not Scentsy all the time, right? So engagement posts help too, like asking someone's opinion. People love to share their opinion. Oh my gosh. What do you think I should put it's like when you do those Scentsy parties and online parties and okay, which warmer goes better in this room? That's like the most engaging post that I get because everybody's got an opinion. So if you ask people, for their opinion on anything, that's a great way to get engagement moving on your page. So, those are my tips with social media. Does anybody else have some tips that they would be willing to share? Alyssa, Charlene, those are our other leaders. I mean, I hate to like just throw it at you, but yeah. Anybody doing anything that's working really well for them, social media wise, or have an opinion about what people should or shouldn't do on social media for our downlines? Kim, I would love to hear from you. Please, let me unmute you. There we go.
Okay, so hi everybody.
Hi.
So I did one the other day, and I'm not real good about social media, but I am. I'm trying to do better and learn Canva and things like that. So one day I saw recently the candy bars we used to sell as kids. Well, you might all be too young, but anyways, the whatever, they came in the box. And so I I go, oh, I'm gonna grab that. And I go, well, it was obviously I put no question into selling Scentsy or something like that. On that, I put that on my story, and I got more engagement, I swear, than I feel like I've ever gotten before, just from that nostalgic type of post. Adding that, well, naturally, I went right into Scentsy after this, and people just loved it, and they really engaged. So, I thought, well, that was funny, but um, also, like, change your words, like they said, because what Anna was just saying right now, people really do know us. So I know, like, Kelsey, I'll see her post and she'll say, hey y'all, blah blah. If I posted hey y'all, my customers would be like, okay, no texting me, because I don't talk like that. So I make sure to really change it, and I'll clip, I'll copy, and then I'll go through and really kind of just study it and change it up to where it sounds just like me. So now I know not to, I have changed it from putting the dollar signs to spelling out 35. So that's what I've been doing lately, is seeing if that's, because I didn't know about I mean, I'd heard, oh, don't put dollar signs, or don't put whatever symbols, because it might get smashed down in the algorithms or whatever. So that's what I've been doing, is just spelling out, hey, this whip box, it's only $35, and literally spelling out $35 plus tax. So I've been doing a lot of that, and just like I said, not creating content, borrowing from others and taking a little bit and making it sound like me, so that nobody thinks they're being auto text. Because I can tell when I get an email, whether it's from an upline or somebody just trying to sell me something, I can tell when it's auto text. I can tell when they've literally copied and pasted. I'm like, you didn't even address me. Like, that was just, you sent that to everybody. So, like, with my team, what I'll do is I'll do something, but I'll change it every single time and say, hi, Jody, or hi, Judy, and hi, Julie, whatever. And I'll just make sure that I personalize that, just because of the fact that I don't know much about the algorithms and things like that, but I certainly don't want it getting buried. So that would be mine, is find something nostalgic, or that people, because one thing that I've noticed that's coming up a lot for me is 80s things and 90s things. And that's 30 years ago from me. So I'm like, what? But it's because when we think 30 years ago, I think like the 70s, and I'm like, nope, that can't be right. So now it is the 80s or 90s or whatever. So, find something that, if your audience is relatable, like if you have, you know,
Well, that's like Tammy saying that she shared a picture of her daughter with the Scentsy buddies. Like, people relate
yeah,
on the fact that they have kids, or people relate on the fact that they have pets. So sharing those things not only makes you relatable, but it also makes you memorable and gives people a reason to connect. Again,
right.
that's
Mm-hmm.
an example of that for sure. For sure.
Exactly. Now you can mute me again.
You're fine. But yeah, definitely use those, how you're using the products in your home. Show your face. Gosh, guys, show your face. Um, and make it something that people are interested in what you're doing. Like, that's what the great thing about, if you're uncomfortable doing reels, try doing it in stories. It's not permanent. It's going to be gone in 24 hours. That might give you a little bit of confidence into doing something that's gonna stay with your profile a little bit more long term. So yeah, it's a good try too. Hi.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, totally. What's your best tip? We got 5 minutes before it's gonna close on me.
Okay.
What is your best social media tip, do or don't?
best social media tip, do or don't?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what have you
Talking about
said?
Well, we were talking about social media as far as like things that you should do as far as you
So
make things personalized.
I just had to have a conversation with one of my leaders this past weekend. It's so hard for me not to say hi to all of my people. Hi, Aubrey, and Carissa, and Denise, and Tammy, and Charlene, and Alyssa.
You're
And
seeing all
hold
these
on.
faces.
Okay, Kim and Jasmine and Angela and Kayla and iPhone.
I found it's Katrina.
And hi, Dana. Hi, Katrina. Okay, so I just had to have a talk this past weekend with one of my leaders, and I literally was like, I'm just going to give it to you straight. Okay, I've sat back and I've watched how you perform on social media, and perform, maybe that's not the right word, but I've sat back and I've observed how you use your social media, and now I'm just going to cut right to the chase and tell you with blunt force trauma that you got to clean it up. I said, I don't know on any given day if I want to do business with you or I don't, because one day you are happy and you're kind, and the next day, I don't know what happened. Like you are, it's like
Angry and abrasive.
the train is coming off your tracks. And I said, I want you to work on, first of all, when you before you take to social media about something, I need you to take a deep breath. And then I need you to ask yourself if this is something that is going to help your business or hurt your business. I said, those are the two things that I want you to do because you need to find somebody, you need to find a group of people or a friend to vent to instead of the social media public where you are trying to build a following, not repel them. And so I said, I want you to consistently work on your message. I'm not asking you to not be who you are, but I am asking you to be more consistent in being a positive light, not an energy suck. And she was like, now that you bring it to my attention, I just don't even realize that I do it. When something happens, I'm so accustomed to just going to social media and posting it so that I can get it out there and just get it out so I can move on. And I said, you're doing it in the wrong place. You need to vent it to a friend or to a group or to your notepad in your phone or your journal, not to the public that you're going to turn around and one post later ask them to buy a whiff box. You can't do it. You just can't do it. And so she actually took it constructively. And then I just praised her. I just got off of my call. But Anna's so sweet. She let me do my call in the bedroom and she's doing her call in the closet. I mean, that's so kind. But I just got off my call, and so I accountability checked on her, and I was like, "How's it going?" Because I peeped your page before I knew I was gonna see you tonight, and I have to say, A plus so far. Keep going, keep doing a great job. So that I don't know that that's a good
No,
do or don't,
that's
but
a
it
good tip.
but it
Mhm.
really is like, and I know Aubrey will give me the affirmation that it was a good thing to say, but it really is important that we check ourselves before we put what we put out there because you really cannot post garbage and then ask people for money for a sale. It's just, or asking somebody to host a party with you or asking them to join you. Not if you're not, nobody wants to go through the mean ladies checkout at Target. Nobody. I'll wait in the long line to go through the nice ladies line in Target. So
That's true. That's a good
it
point.
is.
It is.
It's
That's a
true.
good point.
Like you know the people that you want to do business with and you don't want to do business with, and there's enough there in the world that let's be positive beacons of light.
Good
Right.
advice.
There, thanks.
That's it. And that gives us literally 1 minute before it closes. We
Okay.
just
Oh
yeah.
gosh, I wasn't even watching. There's a time limit.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 1 minute left.
1 minute.
Okay. What?
Oh, Alyssa, we find your letterboard posts hilarious, so don't worry about that. Alyssa texted me. What about my letterboard posts? No,
Alyssa,
those are
I love
amazing.
them.
I love them.
I love them,
Yeah.
and I give you a total thumbs up because
Total thumbs up.
that's like on brand for you.
It is. It's totally on
So I
brand.
love it. And you look beautiful, by the
Yeah,
way.
she does. Doesn't she look pretty tonight?
Yes,
She
you look
does.
beautiful.
Thank
You
you.
all look beautiful. It is so great to see your faces. Thanks for letting me barnstorm the closet.
Yes. All right. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night. Love you lots. Thanks for coming. Bye.